Hi, good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Colorful Conversations. I have my coffee ready. I hope you guys have your coffee ready and you're ready to learn some fun tips and tricks on hair color and the business of hair color. I'll give it a couple minutes. Hopefully people will start to jump on live. I'm trying something different again. Now I look very pixelated and chopped up on here. I'm on my computer instead of my phone. So if anybody comes on live and can give me the thumbs up or some hearts to let me know. I see some people are on here. If you could show me some hearts so that I know that you can hear me, that you have audio. I don't want to be like one of those karate movies where my lips are moving but nobody hears me. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep talking and hopefully you guys can hear me. So for those of you just joining for the first time that don't know me, my name is Elaine Travis. I am a very passionate color expert. I'm a salon owner. I work behind the chair 3 full days a week. I like to keep my hands in the hair and keep trying and creating new methods and ways of perfecting my art. I wrote a book called A Colorful Journey by Elaine Travis. It's available on Amazon. But before that, when I started teaching at the hair shows, I wanted to bring something to the show that, I've been to so many hair shows and so many events, and the products that were always available as far as continuing the experience and having more education were typically a DVD or a manual with like a ring binder with black and white print. And as hairdressers, we got into this industry because we like to be creative. We're more artistic, and a lot of us tend to be on to the next thing, move really quickly. And for me, myself, I'm very ADD, so it's very easy to distract me. I love to read, but when it comes to a technical book that can tend to be factual and a little boring, it's hard for me to stay focused. So I thought about it, and I thought about my time in different salons over the years as I was growing in my knowledge and in my career. I would try to spend my time, instead of being in the break room complaining that I'm not busy or saying I don't have any money or, getting a bartending job or something that would distract me and pull me away from my focus of hair color, I would pick the brain of the colorist next to me that was more successful for me. Why did you do that with that last client? What happens when a client sits in your chair and has XYZ? And when I was thinking about creating this product, I thought, wouldn't it be great to have just all of those little tidbits and facts that I've picked up in those conversations, but have them in a very user-friendly, easy format for the hairdresser that doesn't have a lot of time. So when you are in between clients and you go to the break room and you grab a cup of coffee or an iced tea or a handful of nuts or whatever, and you just have like a little time in between clients, I thought, wouldn't it be great to have, good old from grade school, the flashcard system. So I created this deck of cards. The top one says, don't gamble on your future, because I thought, playing cards, blackjack, that whole thing, I'm kind of cheesy, but I thought it was fun to have these where salon owners can buy them and just put them in the break room so that there's always a pile of knowledge, for lack of a better word. They can reach in and just pull a card out, read a little fact, and maybe change something, just one thing that day that they would do differently than they would had they not had these cards. So I've had a lot of fun with these. I've gotten tons of positive feedback. I sold out of every one of them at my first hair show. The first hair show I ever taught at was Premier Orlando. And I brought these cards and they flew out of there in my first class. I didn't even have enough for the second class. And it's not heavy with a lot of chemistry and a lot of complicated information, but it's very good, usable information for regular salon life that's very helpful. So I decided today, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get away from this orb light that's like shining on my head. Hopefully that's better. So I wanted to, during this coffee and colorful conversation, I just wanted to pick a couple random cards, just like a tarot card reader would. I have a little stack here, and I'm just going to pull random ones and read them to you just to give you a little sampling of the little things that you can learn quickly that can change your career. So this first one says, there is only one boss, the customer. He or she can fire everybody in the company simply by spending his or her money elsewhere. Send a handwritten thank you note to every new client you see. It will set you apart from any other hairdresser that they used to visit. I do this myself. I will admit I've gotten a little lazy with it because I'm at the point where I don't get as many new clients. I'm very established. My time is limited. So when I get a new client, of course I treat them great, and I still do a full consultation, and I do everything that I normally would do. But I used to immediately, when I had more time, like if you are someone who's starting out and you do have a lot of time, go right to the break room, wherever, have a stack of note cards. They don't have to be any minor logo. I've taken the next step and I've gotten them very branded, but that's not necessary. When I started out, I would go to Marshall's and get a $5 box of basic thank you cards, and I would handwrite them, and I still do handwrite them, saying, thank you for visiting me at blank salon. It was such a pleasure meeting you. I hope that you are enjoying your new cut, color, whatever service that it was that you did for them. And if you have any questions or concerns or styling issues, please feel free to call me anytime. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And trust me, it goes a long way. I've gotten so many clients who've said, wow, I've never dealt with a business that has given me a handwritten thank you note. Think about your mail today. When you go to your mailbox and you pull your mail out, it's that bundle of black and white newspaper print, coupons for supermarkets and Big Lots and all that stuff. I just grab all that stuff and put it right in the recycling bin. It drives me crazy. And then the rest is bills. It sucks being grown up. You don't get any fun mail anymore. So when you get a nice handwritten note, for me, that's the first thing I would open in my mail. So you're making that second connection with that guest. And if they were on the fence about coming back and weren't quite sure whether you were a good fit for them, trust me, that will make a difference. So that is the first one. This is another big thing. I find as a salon owner, the girls that work for me are not, very anal as far as like keeping track of numbers and, really, really knowing how much money that they earn, because they still, fortunately, get a decent amount of tips. And, they go to Starbucks right afterwards and spend the tip on coffee. So it's kind of like, in their mind, money that never happened. And so I added this card in the deck because I came across this chart that it might have been Michael Cole. He's great at, if you don't know who Michael Cole is, look him up. He's great at motivation. He was a big part of the early parts of my career and really made me understand how my income is completely up to me. However much I want to make is completely up to me, and there's no limits to it. So it may have been him, but it's a tip chart on this card, and it just makes you aware that that money, especially when it's cash, gets shoved in your purse, becomes like, a piece of gum in there that you're not counting when you get your tax return at the end of the year and say, oh my gosh, I worked all year and look at all these taxes that came out and look at what I made. That's ridiculous. I worked so hard. But you're not sitting down and saying, wow, the average client gives me $10, whatever the amount is. So I did it. This chart says tips per day. It starts at $20. I am positive that most of you on here watching this, that's a bad day if you've only gotten $20 for the day. I'm sure, I mean, most of my stylists get $20 per client. I'm not one of them. I'm the lucky owner that people say, oh, you're the owner, that's rude to tip you. No, it's not. I'll take tips anytime. So $20 per day, if you work 4 to 5 days a week, is $100 per week, which turns into $4,000 to $5,000 per year. If you get $30 per day and work 4 to 5 days, it's $120 to $150 and $600 to $7,500 a year. $40 a day is $160 to $200 a week, $8,000 to $10,000 per year. $50 per day, which if you're working an 8-hour day, it's very easy to get $50 a day. Your 4 to 5 day work week will give you $200 to $250 per week, which is $10,000 to $12,500 for the year. So something that I learned, again, it may have been Michael Cole. It definitely was Michael Cole. Everyone strives to be a millionaire, retire as a millionaire. Unfortunately, at the age that we are, $1 million probably won't make you a rich person. It'll make you in survival mode because inflation and everything. But back when I learned this, it was literally probably about 25 years ago. Michael Cole, had you figure out this whole spreadsheet where if you took $5 of your tips every single day and put it into a jar, and you did that year after year after year, and you invest that money and put it in the bank at the smallest amount of interest, by the time you retire, you are guaranteed to be a millionaire on $5 a day. It's so simple. And we all think we have to create the next Spanx or Croc. There's little decorations that went into Crocs. These people that came up with these crazy inventions and became instant millionaires. All of us have the power to be millionaires on $5 a day. So start to really respect your tips and understand what it can bring to your world. This is a big one, and this is a pet peeve for me. This card right here says, mix your color with a whisk or a spoon instead of your applicator brush. This way your brushes will not fray and fall apart. I cannot tell you how many salons I've been in doing consulting or private classes, and I go to demonstrate on a model, and I'm cooking in their kitchen, which is always awkward, and I go to grab something to mix my color, and they hand me an applicator brush and say, oh, here. And I'm like, oh, no. I never mix my color with bristles of a brush. First of all, the reason to not do that is, for me, I'm working with cream color. So I'm trying to make cream in a comes out in like toothpaste form with the developer. And if I do that with a brush, I'm like mashing this toothpaste texture into this liquid, and I'm struggling to break it down. Where if you have one of those little skinny, I think Product Club has them, or even a restaurant, even Marshall's, everybody has a little whisk. And if you just use the whisk, which I don't even love that as much as L'Oreal came out with these little slotted plastic things that were meant to mix platinum paste. If any of you are familiar with platinum, it's very chunky and thick, and it was hard to break down. So I have like half a dozen of those in the salon, and I just mix it with that. And my brushes, I think I have the same applicator brushes in my salon that I probably have had for 5 years or more, because I use them for what they're designed for, to put color on the hair. So go into work today and look at your brushes. And if they are scary, hairy, frayed, they're all wrinkly, and you're not getting a proper application with those brushes, and you're probably constantly running to the beauty supply to replace your brushes when all you need is a spoon, a whisk, or one of these plastic sticks to stir your color. And if your brushes are frayed but they're not completely trashed, if you just sit them in warm water and soak them for a few hours and then lay them flat on a towel, sometimes you can put like one of those curler metal clips across the brushes just to make them straight again. You can revive them. So try that as well. So here's a quote. I put some fun, just random quotes in there because I didn't want it to be too heavy in facts and just hair color. I love motivational quotes, and some people won't go out of their way to find them, but if they hear one or see it in a meme on Facebook, it sticks with them throughout the day. So I love this one. It says, if you think you can or you think you can't, Either way, you are right. And I told some really funny stories to my friends this weekend about perception. And our perception of what is going on is so much more important than what is actually going on, because everybody has a story. 5 people can see a car accident happen in action, be right there. But all 5 people are in a different place in regards to the accident, and all 5 people will have a different version when they tell the story. So if you think that you're a terrible colorist, or you're never going to get this, and you're always going to be scrambling to try to make $1, and you're never going to be successful, you're right. That's exactly what's going to happen, because your thoughts control your actions, and the things that you pay the most attention to expand. So if you put all your energy into the negative, that's going to expand, and that is what's going to happen. So that's what that quote means to me. So let's do one more, because I always try to keep these short. If you are a new stylist trying to get busy, if you feel like your salon isn't giving you as much opportunity as you would like, and you're sitting waiting for the busy bus to come, have a conversation with the owner of your salon or your manager, whoever is right above you that would be the person in charge of promotions, and promote this offer to them and ask if it's something that you can roll out. So I call it the 20-20-20. You can call it whatever you want. If a client books a cut and a color and purchases at least one retail product on their visit with you, you can give them 20% off of all 3. So in other words, if they just come for a cut, they don't get a discount. If they just come for a color, they don't get a discount. If they come for a cut, a color, and buy a hairspray, a wet brush, a round brush, any type of product, and when they sit in your chair, you say, just to let you know, I'm so excited to see you today. I see that you're here for cut and color. You're almost there to receive my 20-20-20 offer. If you buy any product today, you'll get 20% off your cut, 20% off your color, and 20% off your product. And again, only do this when you're slow. I don't recommend doing it every day, because you don't want to give away your services. But if you have big gaps in your day, it increases your retail numbers. It creates a habit for that client to get in, where they're like, oh, they'll think, oh, next time if I buy something, what will I get then? They might not get anything, but they don't know that. So that is that. And this is another one. If you show up at work, if your first client is 10 a.m. and you show up at 10 a.m., you're late. You as the professional need to arrive a minimum of 15 minutes prior to your first guest. What this does is it allows you to get settled into your routine, have all your materials out. There's nothing worse than your 10 o'clock's waiting for you. You walk in at 5 of, you scramble to put your purse down. You have no lipstick. This is me anyway. You have no lipstick on. You didn't have your morning cup of coffee. You're grumpy. You're frazzled because you rushed. And then you're late getting them started. So now maybe the shampoo isn't as long and luxurious as it normally would be because you're running late. The client can feel that. They feel you're rushing. They feel the tension. So when you get there at least 15 minutes prior, you have your station set up. You have a clean, dry towel. You have your cape folded over your chair, wherever you keep it. You can look at your client records and say, oh, Sandy has not bought a product in 3 visits. She has to be out of something, or she has abandoned me altogether and is shopping on Amazon. That's a whole other coffee and colorful conversation. But you want to be aware of where they are in their routine and show them that you thought of them. So instead, if you're there 15 minutes early, now you have time to offer, thanks for the love, guys. You have time to offer them a coffee. You have time to check in. How was that wedding you went to last time I saw you? It's so much more relaxed, and it's 15 minutes, guys. It's not asking you to be there, 4 hours before your first client. It just really sets you up for a much better, smoother day. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my little backroom, instead of backroom bitching, do some backroom learning with my little colorful flashcards. And if you're not already, I would love for you to follow me on Instagram. I try to mix my Instagram with my personal and my business. I know a lot of people say not to do that, but if you follow me and you appreciate my delivery, then you will appreciate my personal life, because I am the same on business as I am in personal, so I have nothing to be embarrassed about on my Instagram that I wouldn't want to share with you guys. So my Instagram is Laney Cake, LAINEYCAKE. And if you're looking for live color classes and inspiration, I'm excited to be teaching for the first time at the Houston Image Expo. I've never been there. I don't know anything about the show. I'm excited. Texas is a wonderful, friendly place. The show is May 20th and 21st. I have 2 classes on Sunday and 1 on Monday. And then in June 2nd to the 4th, I am in Orlando, where I'm also doing, I believe, 2 classes Sunday and 1 on Monday. So I hope to see some of you there. I hope that if you enjoy Coffee and Colorful Conversations, you will share this with friends that are in the hair business. And I look forward to seeing you next week for Coffee and Colorful Conversation. Thanks for joining.